With the construction of the Great Ape House and continuous growth of animals at Cabrino Zoo, sadly, we did not have enough money to fund all of these projects, which has led Cabrino Zoo to bankruptcy. Luckily, zoos around the world have been happy to take most of our animals and house them for the rest of their lives, but no zoo has had enough space for Dali and Dharma, our red pandas. Thankfully, we have partnered with an animal shelter near Surfers Paradise in the Gold Coast, and they were happy enough to take them until we could find them a forever home. With this 1 square kilometer block of land used to be filled with abandoned houses, it is now just grass, and due to its past, it's being sold for extraordinarily cheaper than usual at $450,000, which I've decided to purchase to restart the zoo. But it wasn't just filled with abandoned houses, it was also filled with lots of natural scenery which we can use to incorporate in some of our enclosures. Luckily, we have learnt from our mistakes and are now better at saving and managing money for future projects. With this land being located in Pacific Pines in the Gold Coast, we will hopefully get lots of attention from guests, as we will be neighbouring lots of huge attractions like Movie World and Wet n Wild. With the end of Cabrino Zoo, means a new and improved beginning for our new attraction. We have learned from our mistakes and is making sure that this is the best zoo in Australia, full of education and wonderful experiences for our guests, as well as making sure animal welfare is as good as we can make it, keeping conservation as our top priority with breeding programs and animal releases. We have hired an amazing construction team that has worked on many zoos before, such as Taronga Zoo and Australia Zoo. They have done a great job helping them, so we hope they do the same with our zoo, and it always starts with the entrance. Firstly, our construction team have started off by building a road that comes over to where the entrance of the zoo will be placed, so guests can drive to the zoo. Before we start constructing the entrance building, right here I want to create a little meetup area where families can go before entering the zoo. I started off by adding the concrete around the whole area, but I want to keep a bit of area without concrete for a little garden filled with native trees and plants. Later on in the video, I decided to add some animal statues inside of the garden for children to be able to try and spot all the animals inside the garden, while possibly waiting for their family to arrive. Here's how it looks currently. It looks very sad as there's not much colour, so let's change that. Before we start adding the plants, I want to have a fence stopping people from walking inside the garden, as it is full of native plants that we are trying to protect. So children can look for these animal statues behind a fence, which makes this spotting game a lot more fun in my opinion. Here's how it is looking so far. It will definitely look a lot more better with plants. Starting off, I want to add this little rock formation that also has a few native plants, and then I'll start with the trees. Firstly adding the cabbage tree, and then a few corkwood trees, and then finishing it off with some gum trees, which are all native trees to Australia. And then I will be filling some space with buffalo grass, since we only have one native grass in game, and it doesn't take up a large space like the buffalo grass does, so instead I will be using this. And then I'll be coming in with some dry buffalo grass to add different colour and different sort of patches in the grass. Afterwards I'll be adding some blue stem grass for some taller grass, finishing off with some crocetta bushes. And this is looking so much better as we have more nature scenes as well as some more colour instead of just grey concrete. Now what I'm planning to do is decorate up this concrete area as it looks very boring with nothing there. I'm going to add a sign that says the zoo name and has a picture of a koala on it. I got the idea from the Taronga Western Plains Zoo sign and I really like the look of it, so I decided to make it my own. I'm going to make the colours perfect, and then I will start adding the text on it that says the name of the zoo. Now that the text is finished, we're just about complete. We just got to add the koala and now change the text color. Once that's done, we'll duplicate it, put it on the other side of the sign so we can see it on both sides, and the sign is just about complete. This is how it looks, and honestly it doesn't look too bad. It's very basic, but it also is a really good design for this zoo. Now that the sign is finished, it is now up to detailing up this area. Firstly, I'll be adding a bus and a bus stop. The bus will be where the guests will spawn, but due to cars driving on the left side of the road in Australia, I will have to use the prop bus. I want to add some smaller planters with some grass and a tree. And then I want to add 4 of these around the area so that there is more greenery in other places. Like I said earlier, I decided to add a bunch of animal statues for children to be able to play a spot them all game while waiting for some of their family to arrive or the bus to arrive. I added statues of the African spurred tortoise, dromedary camel, greater flamingo, a lion, a reindeer, alpine ibex, and a really big gorilla. And now finishing it off by adding some of these mechanical kangaroos. The meetup spot is officially complete, and this definitely looks much better than how it looked when we started building. There's so much more color and theming, which makes this area look great. Now it is time to start on the actual entrance building. This building will have 2 ticket booths on the right side, the entrance in the middle, and then a gift shop on the left. When starting off the entrance, we obviously need to begin with the shell of the building, so we know where everything will be. This shouldn't be too hard, as I am just using the breeze block for this part. Now I've decided to begin with the hardest part of the entrance, being the gift shop. The reasoning of this being the hardest part is the weird window that I'm doing now, as well as the door and indoor details. Now that the windows are out of the way, I can now start on the sliding glass doors, something similar to what you would see when entering a shopping center. I will be adding these glass panels and then some glass panels behind it that will open and close when someone comes near so that they can enter the gift shop. After that, I realized that the glass connecting to the breeze block looked a little ugly. So I came in with some wooden beams to help make the building look nicer. And obviously, we can't have a gift shop without the gift shop, so we'll be adding that too. Now, when you enter the zoo and turn to your right, the gift shop will be right there if you do buy some zoo merchandise. The gift shop doesn't look very nice right now, so let's change that. To begin with the interior, I want to make sure the breeze block walls are not visible from the inside, so I'll add some of these wallpapers. I'm adding the leaf wallpaper as this is the first wall you will see while entering, and then I'll detail it up with lots of animal stickers and other stuff to make sure it looks good. After that, I found some of these square billboards that I decided to put information about the 2 most commonly known animals in Australia, the koala and kangaroo. After that, I will add some of these wallpaper planks, as I thought this looked good on the walls to cover up the breeze block. Finally adding this Australian wooden map, and then it is complete, and this definitely looks a lot better than having the breeze block visible from the inside. To finish off the gift shop, we obviously need to get gifts for people to buy, and all income will go straight to wildlife conservation. Firstly, we've got to add all of the stands that the gifts will go on. So right now I am currently adding 2 different stands for gifts to go on, and then I'll be going straight through and adding gifts to all of these stands, like hats and mugs. Next I want to add some rows of shelves that will be filled with all sorts of different gifts. I will start with these smaller shelves in the middle and duplicate them so that guests can get stuff from both sides of the shelves. I will then choose what items I want to be sold on these shelves. I decided on baseball caps on the first shelf, masks on the second shelf, plushies on the third shelf, and then puzzles on the fourth shelf, which means it has lots of variety to choose from. I also realized that if it was raining at the zoo, people without an umbrella will get soaked, so they will be available at the gift shop. At gift shops like places like SeaWorld, they have lines that go through shelves for people to do last minute shopping, which is sort of how I wanted these shelves to be like, but I didn't really have enough room to do what I wanted to do. And now we'll add the plushies that will be on these shelves, and the gift shop is complete. This is probably one of my best gift shop builds and is tons better than Cabrino Zoo's gift shop. It makes it easier that we finally get the gift shop pieces too. It is officially time to finish the entrance building of this zoo, as this area is empty, but soon it won't be, so let's start building. I'm gonna start by placing the information center, as this will act as our ticket booths, and then I'll start adding a sign that says buy tickets so people know where to get them from. And now I've got to change the color so it stands out and people can easily see where it says buy tickets. And then I decided to add a few TV screens that have the Planet Zoo logo and some information about the dingoes, because that's another animal that's pretty well known from Australia. I'm using this fence from one of my first attempts at building the Spinifex zoo entrance, and I'll be using it to block off areas that people without a ticket shouldn't be able to go. Right now I'm deleting half of this fence, as I want the zoo entrance to be in that specific area. So I'll be placing it now as I've deleted half of that fence. Now I will be adding another fence on the other side of the zoo entrance, so we can have this area secure and no one can sneak in, and then that part is complete. I now want to begin on the zoo logo on the building. I've got the logo onto the side of the building, and now I want to recolor it so that it matches sort of the yellow theme I'm going for. After that, I will add some leaves. I thought Planet Zoo had a grass sticker, but apparently not, so I'm using leaves instead. Finally, I will be adding this welcome sign as I see it at a lot of attractions, and then the entrance is complete. This entrance definitely looks a lot better than I thought it would be, and I'm really proud of it. The sign and overall building looks really nice. And so does the ticket booth. They might be basic, but they look really good. With the bankruptcy of Cabrino Zoo is definitely a sad time, but it also means we get a fresh start. Spinifex Zoo will be no exception to the great work to come, and I am excited to share all the new adventures I will have with you all. With the gift shop full with merchandise, and the entrance fully complete, this means we are ready for our first residents to be welcomed into the zoo. If you have any guesses, feel free to leave them in the comments. And also, if you check out my community tab, I will now be posting every day about how the zoo and animals are going, just like a real zoo does, so keep an eye out for daily updates. With that, it is definitely sad seeing something you've worked hard on go, but now, it is time for a fresh start. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing as it really helps on my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.